Today I'm going to go through changing the belt and tensioner on a 2007 Honda Odyssey. One of the first things you're going to want to do is document the belt routing. This thing doesn't have on the tag, it doesn't have the belt routing location or anything like that, or how to route the belt. So just take a piece of cardboard and draw it up. That's what I did. Just pay attention, it'll just save you a headache later on down the road. Now that you have the belt routing documented, you're going to want to get down here on this tensioner. And as you can see, there's what appears to be a bolt head, but it's not. It's actually a hex for you to hook your socket onto. The one over down further there, that holds the pulley on, so you don't want to loosen that one. You want to loosen this one. Get on there with a breaker bar. I recommend a breaker bar or a special wrench designed for belts, because I broke my ratchet doing this, and sometimes you'll even need a cheater bar, so it takes a lot of effort. I'm going to push toward the firewall, and then, well, it's going to be hard to hold the phone, but I popped the belt off of the power steering pump, and then ease that back off, and then remove the belt. Okay, now just remove the jack up, support the vehicle, remove the wheel, and you got to take a couple clips off down here. Makes it easier to get to this tensioner. I'm pretty sure you can do it from the top, but we're just going to do it from down here. I have one of these, I call them Honda tools, because Hondas really like to use these clips. So you can use a screwdriver and just be careful with these clips. Pull out the center. I'm sure I have a bunch of clips missing from all the years of this thing, but there's another one up here. Let me just try to... Yeah, I can't even tell what I'm doing. There we go. Oh, and that one broke. Perfect. And then remove this panel, or move it out of the way. So I got this panel kind of folded up and in, just out of the way. And you're going to want to get to this guy here, 12mm bolt. That is the like the hydraulic tensioner. So I already loosened it. It came off really nice. Take this guy out. Okay, set that aside, and then we're going to want to get that bolt off next on that idler. Back up top, I got my ratchet on here with the 17mm socket on it, and I already cracked it loose, but give you the idea. Just crack that loose and remove that bolt. It's hard to tell. Oh, there we go. That bolt. And move it all the way. And the whole tensioner should come out. Now that we got the old one out, I set it next to the new one just to compare them. They look like it looks like it's a direct fit. I got the Gates complete set, so it came with the belt, Gates belt, and the tensioner. And I mean, there's cheaper kits. This was like $130 on Amazon. There's definitely cheaper kits out there, but I don't know that I trust them. So Gates is a pretty good brand. It has a lifetime warranty, so that's good. And then I'm going to show you again here. Set these aside, set these down, and if you see, I gotta support this. Look how this bearing turns. So that's a new one. And then this old guy is pretty shot. Back underneath the vehicle, I just fished this up from the bottom and started that bolt by hand. It's barely in a few threads, just to give you a demonstration. So I'm going to go ahead and go back up top and tighten it all the way, and then I'll be back down here for to attach the tensioner portion. Okay, I got this guy all screwed in, all the way in. There's a long bolt, it took a while, but I got it in. Make sure that this is positioned correctly. First I had it kind of wedged up against the motor mount there, and it was in the wrong spot, so I had to back it off and put it in the right spot. So just pay attention. I'm gonna head back down. I got this bottom bolt started, and we're just gonna bolt that back in. Next, I'm going to feed the belt in. This is the part number of the belt, and I'm going to follow my poorly drawn diagram. I'm not going to film it because it's going to be too hard to film, and I don't know where my tripod is, so you get what you get. Okay, I got the belt mostly on. It's routed according to my fancy diagram. And I'm gonna break my rule. I told you not to use a ratchet on here on the tensioner, but this hex is in a slightly different spot than the factory one, so I couldn't get my breaker bar on there without taking off this power steering hose. So I'm just gonna put my big ass cheater bar on my ratchet and hopefully not break it. So you're gonna go toward the firewall again. I got this belt propped up, and I'm gonna push and probably break my face pushing. And you're going to guide that on and pop it on. Okay, this belt's kind of a nightmare, so I got it mostly on. If you can see, it's not all the way on that power steering pump, but it's on the rest of the pulleys, and I have the bottom on, so just the top isn't on. So what I'm going to do is go inside the car, pull the fuse panel, ignition coil, so fuse number 2. I'm going to pop this guy out, and I'm just going to turn the key on and bump the starter a couple times. Okay, I'm gonna go back around, and look at that. Just popped right on. And once the belt's on, and you could cycle the starter a few times with the ignition unplugged, or start it, just make sure that everything is still lined up really good, which it looks like everything is. And then you can go back down here and put your cover, put this cover back on. And I just, since I own Hondas and they all use these stupid clips, I just got one of these cheapy things from Amazon, so I could just replace the clip. So I'm going to pop this back on right here, and then zip the wheel back on. So this concludes a belt install and or tensioner install on a Honda Odyssey J35. I think most of the Honda V6s are the same for this process. Again, I use this Gates complete kit, and that's the part number for it right there. So not a hard job, definitely worth doing yourself, and then you'll save a couple bucks rather than taking it to a shop.